Does clutter in your home stress you out? And maybe it's not just the mess itself, but the way it makes you feel overwhelmed, stuck, or even emotionally triggered by certain items. You are not alone. Studies show that clutter in our home adds to our stress levels. But we know that already. Let's be honest. We feel it. We know we have too much stuff. We know it's weighing on us, and we know that if we could just clear it out, our homes would feel lighter, calmer, and more peaceful. So why isn't decluttering easier? Why isn't everyone who has watched a YouTube video or read an article on decluttering live in a perfect clutter-free space? Well, my friend, that's exactly why I'm here. I have been on the journey myself, and I know that decluttering is way more than just about getting rid of the stuff. It's about finding an approach that actually works for you and for the season that you're in right now. That's why I'm creating a playlist of different decluttering methods, because there isn't just one way to do this. No matter your personality, daily schedule, or living situation, there is a method that will work for you. And today, I want to introduce you to one of my favorites, the onion layer method. If you've ever felt stuck or overwhelmed, or like you don't have time to commit to a big decluttering session, this method might be exactly what works for you. It's also fantastic for maintaining a clutter-free home once you've done the initial work. Because let's be real, clutter doesn't just stay gone. I wish I could tell you that once you declutter your home, it will stay like that forever, but let's be honest, life situations change, and our home has to adapt with us. Okay, enough about that. The onion layer method. How does it work? Imagine peeling an onion. You do it layer by layer. That's exactly how this decluttering method works. The outer layer, the easy stuff. Start with the things that are obvious and require no effort to let it go. These are items you already know don't belong in your home. Things that are broken, clothing that is too small, things that you haven't touched in years. The first layer is all about momentum. It's quick and rewarding and helps you build your decluttering muscles. Your decluttering muscles are the confidence you gain in your decisions to keep something or let it go. I've got an entire video that teaches you about decluttering muscles. Think of it like going to the gym. You wouldn't start lifting 50-pound weights on day one. You'd start small, build up your strength, and slowly move up. And that's what it's like decluttering. Now, if we've just met, you might be thinking, why in the world should I listen to her? She could just be repeating some article she read. Nope, I've lived the journey. Back in 2012, my husband and I had 3 little kids running around under our feet and lived in a 3,000 square foot home. And one night, I stumbled upon an article about minimalism. It was a word I'd never even heard before. That article totally changed how I viewed my home. I started asking questions like, why do I even own this? Do I really use this? I was hooked to find out. Then I came across a video from Dawn at the Minimal Mom that said something that really struck me. As moms, we are the inventory managers in our home. Every single item in our home is something we have to track, repair, refill, clean, store. That idea hit me hard. Fast forward a few years, and for multiple reasons, our family of 5 designed, built, and lived in a 500 square foot tiny house for several years. That transition required some real decluttering. I know what it's like to face a home full of stuff and wonder, where do I even start? And that is why I am so passionate about helping others break free from clutter. I know how overwhelming it can feel, and I also know how freeing it can be when you're finally able to let it go. Okay, enough about that. The onion layer method. Once you've peeled away that first layer, it's time to go a little deeper. Open up those drawers, look in the back of those cabinets, and take a look into that storage area that you barely ever look in. By this layer, you already feel more confident in your ability to let things go, making it easier to move through the next layers. Next, the inner layers. There can be multiple layers that you work through to get to some deeper stuff that's a little more difficult. The inner layers. These are things that you have an emotional attachment to. Things that carry memories, guilt, or maybe what ifs. These are by far the hardest things to declutter. This is why you do not start with things that you have an emotional attachment to. The key is respecting the process. Work through the layers. Don't rush from the easy stuff right to the sentimental items. Give yourself time to shift your mindset and gain confidence in letting things go. Now, this method does have one big downfall that I didn't understand or prepare for when I started my decluttering journey. I'll get to that in a second, but before, here's a couple tips to make this method work well for you. When you're starting on the outer layers, grab a box or a bag and move quickly. Go room by room and don't take too much time thinking about things or going through drawers. Just grab all the stuff that's obvious to you. The next tip is get the clutter out of your home. Too many people spend their time moving the clutter around instead of actually removing it. Take those donation boxes straight to the car. And if you're selling something, take photos and get it listed before you consider your decluttering session done. Don't make more work for yourself that you have to do later. And my third tip, set up a donation box in a central place in your home. Let your family members know that if they have anything they don't need or want anymore, that they can put it in that box. Creating a home for a donation box makes decluttering an ongoing habit, not a one-time event. Okay, so now, the one big downfall of the onion layer method and how to fix it. The onion layer method can be amazing, but its one big downfall is it can be hard to see dramatic results right away. When you're decluttering bit by bit, your brain automatically adapts to your new surroundings, and it can be really easy to forget how much work you've done and how far you've come. That's why I highly recommend taking before photos. Not only do they help you see your space with fresh eyes, but they serve as a reminder to how far you've come. When you hit a point where you're stuck or discouraged, looking back on these photos can be just the motivation you need to keep on going. I never took before photos when I started my decluttering journey, and I really regret it. So don't make the same mistake I did, my friend. If this method sounds like it could work for you, I'm so glad you found this video. And if not, tuck the idea away somewhere, because you never know when it might be helpful for you or someone you love in the future. At the end of the day, my goal is to help you create a home that is peaceful, joyful, and easy to live in. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. And if you'd like to subscribe to hear more decluttering tips, personal stories, or even a tour of our tiny home, hit subscribe so we stay in touch. Finally, I'd like to invite you into a supportive community of people that are walking their decluttering journeys out together. Take a before photo, start peeling those layers away, and then share your story in the comments. Let's encourage each other and cheer each other on. You've got this, my friend. I'll see you in the next video.